If you'd like to pass the documents that you've generated in Documate into another application, you can do this with a webhook. In this video, we'll walk through how you can set up this webhook in Zapier. If you'd like to set up this webhook through Zapier and you haven't already created a Zap using Documate, then to connect your Documate account, you'll come into Zapier and choose My Apps from the sidebar. Then you'll click Add a Connection and search for Documate in the pop-up. When you choose to connect a new account, this is what you'll see, and the first step is to enter your subdomain. The subdomain is what you see before documate.org when you log in, and then you'll retrieve your API key from your Documate dashboard. From your Documate dashboard, you can find your API key by choosing Settings in the sidebar and choosing API keys. Then if you click the New button, you can create a new API key. We'll call this one Zapier and click Create. You'll copy that API key and paste it in this field. Once you've connected your Documate account, we can set up this Zap. So we'll create a Zap, and then for the first step, we'll choose Webhooks by Zapier. So we'll choose Webhooks by Zapier as our trigger app, and for the event, we'll choose Catch Hook. The entire payload of this webhook contains all of the variables and values from your workflow and the generated documents. In this case, I want to use all of that, so I'm not going to specify a particular child key. I'll just click Continue here. Then Zapier is going to give me this webhook URL. So I'm going to copy this URL, and then I'll go into my Documate account. I want to set up this webhook with my intake form workflow. So I've opened the intake form workflow in Documate, and then I'll go to the Settings tab. I'll choose Integrations, and then I can see that there's a space for my webhook URL. I'll paste the URL here, and then since I want to include my documents and upload them elsewhere, I'll check this Include Documents box and save my workflow. Then to continue setting up my Zap, I'll click this Send Test Data button to send test data to Zapier. And when I come back here, I can click Test Trigger. We can see that that test data came through from our Documate workflow to Zapier, and this contains all of our variable names with test values from that workflow and the files, which will be the output documents for the workflow. Once I confirm that this looks good to me, I'll click Continue, and then I can set up my action step. So in this case, I want to upload my documents from my Documate workflow to Google Drive. So for my action step, I'll click Google Drive, and for the event, I'll choose to upload a file. Then to set up my action, I'll connect my account and choose the folder where I would like this file to be uploaded. And then in the File field, I'll click in this field, and from the first step, I'm going to choose the variable files. So it'll show as files. I'll click that for my File field of the action step. My output documents will be uploaded to Google Drive in a folder containing all of the output documents for that session of the workflow. So I'm going to give that folder a name. I want to name it the client's name. So I want to say client name, and this will bring forward the value of this variable for each session of the workflow. I'm going to call this folder client name intake documents. Once I have this set up, again, the most important part is that files is included. Then I'll click Continue, I'll test my action, and then I'll turn on my Zap. Once this Zap is set up with the webhook configured, then when I run this workflow and complete the intake form for a client, Jane Go, once I reach the final review page, review my answers, and submit them, my documents will generate as usual. But when I come into my Google Drive folder where I've specified that I would like my output documents to be uploaded, I can see that I have this new folder, Jane Doe Intake Documents, and that contains all of my output documents for this session of the workflow.